Hey, YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry Virtual Tabletop from the ground up. And in our last episodes, the bunch, we actually created our own macro that did some pretty cool stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed that and were able to learn some new tips and techniques and stuff like that. So in this episode, I was thinking of two things. One, we're actually going to create our own really small module. You can actually get a module that does the same thing just in the module list and stuff. But I thought it'd be kind of good to just show you how this module is actually created, and it's very handy. So what it is, it's a shared compendium module. Without something like this, you actually have to copy compendiums directly into world folders, and those compendiums are only for that world. This will give us a centralized location where we have a shared compendium that we can share between all our worlds and not have to duplicate that data. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to go into our File Explorer. Hello, File Explorer, right here. And we need to go into our modules folder. So we need to go into our documents where we have our data folders for our Foundry VTT. So we come into here, go into data, and then we have this modules. So we're going to go into modules, and this is where we are going to create our compendium. So let's go ahead and add a new folder. We'll call this SHAREDCOMPENDIUMS. I think that sounds right. So we're going to just call it shared compendiums. And basically now for Foundry to recognize this as a module, we have to have a file in here called module.json. You'll notice that all these other ones have a module.json file. For those of you who don't know, JSON is kind of an XML, but more for the Java side of thing, and it's kind of a Java format. If you know anything about HTML, that's kind of XML type of format where you have open tags, closed tags, and stuff like that. If you ask me, JSON just makes it nicer. So what we're going to do, come in here, we're going to right click, we're going to say new, and we're going to say text document, and we're going to call this module, M-O-D-U-L-E, module.json. And then we're going to get rid of that text part. So this will tell our thing that, yep, this is our module, and I needed to click on one other thing over here real quick. I think it's this one. Yes. I don't know if the screen disappeared for you guys just for a second, but I just need to make sure what I'm doing is correct. Okay, so what we're going to do in here then is we're going to actually have our module packs. Now the default, they call them packs. Inside here we can see all our different compendium packs. They're just called packs. So we're going to kind of follow the same format. You could actually call it whatever you want because you're going to give it a path to your module. So we're going to come in here and we're just going to create one called packs. So P-A-C-K-S. And that's our directory where we're actually going to stick our modules. So let's go ahead into our module.json, and we're going to go ahead and enter the information we need. Now, depending on how many modules you're going to have, or how many compendiums, I keep calling them modules, but how many compendium packs you're going to have, you're going to want to have multiple of these entries that we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an open curly brace. We're going to hit enter. Twice is fine, and then we're going to do a closed curly brace. I like adding my braces as I go with an open and a close, just to make sure they line up and stuff. Now we could do this in Visual Studio Code, which would make it easier because it would automatically format for us, but I didn't think about that ahead of time. So the first thing we're going to need here inside our thing is we need to give it a name value and the well, I guess these are the properties. We're going to have the name and the value. And the way we do this is, for example, our name of our thing is called name quote and then a colon, and then we're going to go ahead and tab, and we're going to call it the name of this actual file, our actual thing here, shared compendiums. So we're going to do sharedco, make sure I'm spelling this right, compendiums, like that, unless I misspell it. And then we do a comma, and then we have our next name slash key value, I think. Maybe that's the best way to say it. So the next thing will be the title. This is the friendly name. Okay, so we do title, we do our colon, we're going to hit tab. I'm actually, just for the fun of it, should I do that? I'm trying to remember if JSON cares. I don't think it does. I'm going to go ahead, just so these all line up nicely, do this. And this is going to be our friendly name, sharedcompendiums. So this will be the name that will show up in our list of modules that we need to activate. And then the next one will be description. So we're going to put a comma, and we're going to do a quote and do description. This will be obviously the description. Trying to think if I want it all lined up nicely or not. I think it's description. Actually, no, it's not our biggest one. So we're going to go ahead and we'll clean this up after. I'm just going to do that one. So our description here, this is share compendium compendium PACK BETW between worlds. Sure, let's do that. Then of course the next one, oops, not that, a comma. Next will be an author, AUTHOR, quote and colon. This will be me, Tasman, T4ZZ M4NN, just like that. Let's see, then we need our version. So this is the version of our thing. And for those of you who don't know how versions usually work, you usually have the release version, then major updates and minor update kind of thing. So I'll show you that, VRSION. So we're going to do version. Oops. Do that. Go ahead, do that. And we're going to say, so this is the release version. It's going to have no major versions nor any minor versions. So if I go update and it's a very minor update to this, which I don't really see ever happening, but if you have a module and you're doing just a minor update, then you would increment this number. If it's a fairly large revision that you're doing, then you'd update this number. And then if it's a completely, this is a new version of it, then you would update that number. So we're just going to leave it there. And then we're going to do the minimum core version that this will run on. Now, we could put this all the way down to, say, version 1. I'm just going to put it at 8. But it probably would run fine on other versions because the compendium pack format and stuff hasn't changed that much. So I'm going to do MINIMU minimum core VRSION, like so. Go ahead and put a quote and a colon, and then we're going to say here tab, we're going to do 8 is our minimum core version. This isn't to say you can't do it in another version. Let's see, can we tab you guys all together? Oh no, that's going to do the whole thing. Never mind. Let's do, hold on. Hold Alt. think, can we tab you? There we go. I think we're gonna want one more tab because the next one's the maximum core version or the compatible core version. So we'll do that and do compatible, and I gotta double check, is that, yeah, it's fine. So here we go. Hit tab and that should go there. Perfect. And we're just going to say 9. Now you could also stick in, 8.25 or whatever, the minimum or major revisions are, and that's fine. So this is the main thing. And then finally we get to the packs themselves. And this is going to identify what the names of the packs are. And I'm trying to remember, I think it creates them. I gotta remember if it creates them. Maybe we'll do a test. I can't remember off the top of my head. So this will be the packs. Now the packs is going to be an array of lots of different packs, right? So we're actually going to, should I line? Yeah, this one doesn't have to line up because this is going to be, so here, oops. Here will be our array of packs. We're going to go ahead and tab that out twice so that, or enter twice so that we have the full thing. Now there are various types of packs. Inside Foundry, you have your actors, you have items, you have role tables, you have macros, you have playlists, you have journal entries. These are all the types of packs, which kind of gives Foundry the idea of, okay, what is this supposed to be laid out as? So we're going to go in here, and part of the reason I wanted to do this is because in our upcoming episodes, we're going to add a custom monster from a Monster Manuals expanded PDF that I have. And I can't remember the monster I was going to add, but we're going to add one. So basically in here, we're going to have kind of the exact same layout as above, but now we're in individual pieces. So first we need to do our little bracket, and then another bracket, back out one. And I like to have just a little space in here. Now, we could actually have multiple of these, like if we wanted to have, the D&D Beyond races or something like that. This is one thing I really use it for, is for all those D&D Beyond import stuff. I actually have them come into here so that I have D&D Beyond shared between all of my worlds. So we're going to, just trying to think. Let's just do our Monster Manual expanded, and then maybe also create a D&D Beyond one, maybe for spells and items, although they're both items, so I guess it doesn't matter. So the first thing we're going to need, obviously, we need a name, right? So this is the name of the compendium pack that we're going to be creating. And right now I'm just going to do one space, and I'm going to call this MONSTERMANUAL, Monster Manual EXPANDD_I for 1. And then I forgot to put that in quotes. And we're going to go ahead and do a comma, and then we're going to give it the label. This is, once again, friendly name, LABEL, quote, and colon. Go ahead and just do one space right now. And let's call this, I don't want it to be a really long name, so I'm gonna kind of contract it or make it MM. Should I do expanded? EXPANDED space I for 1. And I forgot quotes again. Alright, so that will be that part. And then we need the path. So this is the path to this pack, right? thing I'm trying to remember is, do I have to just create a file called this, or does it automatically create it? I kind of feel like it automatically creates it, but we're gonna double check. So so our path, we're gonna do path quote colon space, and we're gonna say packs. So it's from where we are. So we're in this root folder right here. So we're in the root folder right here, and we want to go into packs, right? And then, of course, I didn't do my quotes. There we go. That will help me. So I'm just gonna once again call it this. This is just the name of the thing. So we're gonna do hyphen expanded hyphen I. I'm going to leave it lowercase. And then a comma. And then finally we have the entity. Now this is what will change between your different compendium packs. So if we're doing monster manual, of course this is going to be actors. So we do entity, entity like that, colon, and this is going to be an actor. Or we could do, let's see, there's items, there's macros, so macro. There's playlist, which would be playlist, like that. There's journal entry. There's all the different types of packs that we have. If you want to know specifically a pack, you know, if roll table or something, let me know in the comments and I will add that information. But this case, it's an ACTOR. So I'm going to add an actor here and a comma. And then the final thing we need to do is what module this is being referenced from, right? So this is module. So we're doing our module, colon, and we're going to go ahead and do sharedcompendiums. Just like that. Now this last one does not need a comma on it. If we were to have more packs, you know, take this whole thing and say make another one. Let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Let's do a comma here, hit V, and a comma here. Should I do? I know for free you can get items and spells. So we could call this, for example, DDB, maybe if I do it like that, it doesn't look as good. Let me think real quick. Actually, this is all lowercase. So let's do DDB and then maybe hyphen SPELLS, so something like that. Then here will be our friendly name, DDB SPELLS, like that. Here we'll do, packs will obviously be the same thing, DDB, and we'll do spells, SPELS, just like that. Oh, SPEL. This is not an actor type. A spells is actually an item. So it's an oh, why didn't that type? ITEM, like so. And it's going to be in the module shared compendiums. Now I'm just going to copy this, hit C, and just paste it inside of here. Because we're doing very little to change it to items. ITEMS, and I just noticed we have a space there. That, and do DDB items, ITEMS, and DDB items, ITEMS. All right, so, and I believe items obviously are going to be items as well. I think, if I'm remembering right, I think this is everything we need. And yes. So now we're going to go ahead and save this. We're going to hit close, and then we're going to come in here, and we're going to launch Foundry. We're at 20 minutes. I think we're going to be able to do this hopefully all before 30 minutes. So here's our Foundry loading up now. And if we go into add-on modules, you will see, does it show here? Actually, I don't think it shows here because it's not something you did a module, not a module, but whatchamacallit. You didn't install it from an external source. So let's go into Launch World, and I believe it will be in here. The only question is I'm not 100% sure if it adds the packs automatically. So now if we come into our modules, manage modules, we will see, no we won't. Why are we not seeing it? All right, let's go ahead and exit. Let me just, I'm gonna have to double check my stuff. I'm gonna pause, maybe I don't want to call it here because I don't want it to be a really short episode next time. All right, I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to see if I can see maybe what I did wrong. Clearly, I've done something that it doesn't like. So I'm going to look that up, and I will let you know when I find it. So I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, we're back. So it looks like I didn't have a quote on that one and that one. This one because I copied it from there. But now this quote right here, and this is how picky JSON can be, a single quote or a double quote in this case can cause issues. So now if we do launch it, we should see it in our modules list. So let's go ahead and check and see if that works. Now, I still haven't actually added those DB files to the path. I wanted to see if it adds them. I feel like it does. And there we go. There we have our shared compendiums. We only have the option to uninstall because it doesn't have an update path. So if you want to make it so it doesn't always try and check it for updates, you can always click on this. This will protect it. You can see here that it's version 1 and it is types of compendium. Let's go ahead and see if it works in our world now. We go in, Game Master, join game. You guys probably actually caught that. I would not be surprised at all if you did catch it. So now if we go into manage modules, we now have a shared compendiums. If we click on that and say save to activate it, if we go back out, let's go see if it created those. It sure did. There's our new database files. And if we go look at these, they're just blank files. So if you want, you could probably actually go in and create these, but it'll do it itself, and that way you don't have to worry about misspelling or anything like that. So here are our files. If you did want to create them yourself, you just create it as a text file like this, and then give it the exact name that's in the JSON file. So let's go ahead, because I believe we do have the DDB muncher in here. If we go into here, and we need to go change two things real quick. So one is we need to go to configure settings. We need to go to modules. We need to go, I need to get tidy in here. D&D Beyond Importer, compendiums. And right now it wants to put them in compendiums that it creates. And it actually creates those in the world that we're in. So we don't want that. We want to put them in our module instead. So we're going to come down here to spells. And we're going to choose our shared compendium spells. And we're going to go to items. And we're going to do our shared compendiums items. So this means the world ones we can safely delete in our world here. So if we hit save changes, We go into our compendiums now. Now, sometimes it will create one called default. I don't know if that's in here. Doesn't look like it. Other times it just puts it in items. So if we come down here, we can see here's our DDB items shared compendium. First thing we want to do is go ahead and toggle that lock so we can edit it here. And then where's our DDB shared compendium spells right here. So we can do this and we can go ahead and toggle that lock. Then this one below it, if we go back, this DDB items right here, we no longer need. Nothing points to it, so might as well get rid of it. And the same thing with our spells. We have our DDB spells world. We can get rid of that one also. Delete the compendium, and there we go. Now, part of the reason I chose the spells and items is they're actually fairly quick to download. So we're going to go into our DDB muncher. This takes a few seconds to launch its little thing. Or a little bit longer. You'll also notice here is our expanded 1, which is our shared compendium. If we click on it, completely blanked. It is locked. We don't want it locked for our next thing we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just unlock it. Edit that. Do I need to click this again? You already told me that. Not sure why it's not popping up yet. Maybe we had another configuration in here. Let's go back down to importer. Look at the course setup. To do basic DB, so if you're going to do monsters and various other things, in order to do that, actually we're having like a lag or something. Maybe I need to hit F5 real quick. Maybe that's what it is. All right, let's try once more because maybe it'll work. Not seeing it. Oh wait. Oh, actually, I know why it's not gonna work. Right now, my internet's down. My network connection is down. So yeah, that's not gonna work because it's trying to contact the D&D Beyond. So yeah, sorry I can't show you that. But at least we're getting done, as I said, in the right time. Maybe in a future episode I'll show you how that works and how we can do that. But you can go ahead and create the other types if you want. So there's the shared compendiums. If we go back in here, I think it tells you what types they are. Module real quick. Compendiums. No, it does not. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly tell you the types that you can have since we have just a few more minutes. So we already talked about actor. There's the actor entity. It's uppercase ACTOR, lowercase CTOR. Then the next entity is items. And that's what the majority of your other types are going to be, is all items. There's one called roll tables, which is uppercase R and uppercase T. All one word, no spaces. There is there's one called scenes for your scenes. It's SCENE and the S is uppercase. There's journal entry, 2 words, but it's all crammed together. So uppercase J and uppercase E for entry. There's macro, which we talked about. Roll tables. There's also playlist. So this one isn't 2 words. It's one giant word, playlist, uppercase P, and that's it. So, and remember those darn quotes. They're very important. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I know we kind of bumbled around, especially at this last part where I forgot my internet was down. But hopefully you enjoyed. Either way, hopefully you learned something new. Go make yourself this compendium pack. Like I said, you can find it on the thing, but you can create your own and it'll work fine. You can have as many as you want. It will just add them underneath, usually underneath items. However, you'll notice our monsters did go under the actor. And I think that is it. If you did enjoy, leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. And don't forget to tell other people about my channel. Have a check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. We can grow the channel, and it'll just be awesome. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.